Hi, this is Edward Troxel. In this tutorial we're going to continue where we left off in the previous one, and we're going to look at that log file that was created and learn how to process that log file. And then I'm just going to put something on the timeline so we can tell exactly what it is reading and verify that it is working the way we think it ought to be working before we continue on and try to get rid of the sections that are actually silent. So first we have to determine the silent sections, and we'll verify that this works, and then in the next tutorial we'll learn how to get rid of those sections. In the previous tutorial we looked how to find the renderers and the render template, and then we called the find renderers routine. We set up the file names that we were using, and then we looked for audio tracks, and then we called the render template routine to actually render the file out and create the log. Today we're going to add the process log, and we're going to send it the temp log file name, which we set up here. So let's see how we will actually process this log. So here is our process log routine, and to show the log I decided let's create a composite envelope on the first video track, and we can look at the ups and downs of the composite envelope to verify that it is getting us what we want to see. Now, I'm not saying that we're going to end up using a composite envelope. I'm just saying we're using it to let it show us how the volume changes over time. So what I've done is I've created a new composite envelope. So my composite envelope is a new envelope, and the envelope type is composite. Then on my Vegas.project.tracks on track 0, which I know is a video track, .envelopes, I'm adding this new composite envelope. And then on this composite envelope, I'm setting the very first point on it, which is there by default, its Y value to 0.0, so that it'll start at a 0. Now I need me a lines variable, which I'm going to get from file.readLines, and I'm passing it the path of the log file. Initially, I will not have found the first line that I want to process, so I'm setting a found first variable to false. And I'm going to leave that set to false until I found the first line that I want to process. Now I'm going to go through each line in that list of lines. If the line starts with the dash 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 dash, I'm going to say I'm done, because we know by looking at the file, when I get to this dash 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 dash, I don't care what happens after it, so I'm done. If the line starts with a bunch of spaces and POS period, so if we look here, this is what we're looking for. If it starts with this right here, then I know I found this line here. Now remember, that line appears multiple times, but I need to know when I found the first one to know when to start reading. So once I found one of those lines, then I set my find first variable equal to true. So if it starts with that, then I just set found first equal to true. Otherwise, I look at the line and process it. So if I found the first one, so I can ignore all the lines that were above it. If I found the first one, if my line length is greater than 5, I just picked a number there. And the reason I picked a number there is because you will notice that every time we hit one of these lines, there's a blank line above it and a blank line below it. So this blank line above and below I need to ignore. So I just said those aren't greater than 5, these are. And so I just picked a number out of the hat and said if the length is greater than 5, then I can process it. These lines will not have a length greater than 5. And every time I see one of these lines, all it's going to do is set my found first equal to true again. If it was not one of those header lines and the length is greater than 5, then I need to get me the two pieces that I'm looking for. So I create an array called pieces, and I split it on the tabs. If we look at the file, between here and here is a tab. Right here is a tab. Right here is a tab. Here is a tab, and here is a tab. So it's going to break those up into the pieces. So this will be the first piece. This will be the second piece. This will be the third piece. So these are the two pieces that I'm looking for, is the second and third pieces. Now remember, we're creating an array. So this is going to be piece number 0, piece number 1, piece number 2. So I want piece 1 and piece 2. To get the time, I will need a time code. So the time for this piece, I'm going to get from pieces 1. And so I'm just doing a time code from string and getting it from pieces 1. And then I need to get my track volume. So I'm creating me a double variable called track volume, and I'm just setting it to a value of 0. If my pieces 2 contains INF, in other words, come back up here. Notice these say minus infinity, and they say minus infinity a long way until we get down here to where it says minus 65. So I cannot convert this to a number. So if it says INF, then I'm setting the track volume to minus 100. Otherwise, my track volume I'm getting by converting to a double pieces number 2. So if it says infinity, it's minus 100. Otherwise, I convert the number that it has into a double variable. Then I'm going to create me a new envelope point, which I'm calling the volume point, which is a new envelope point at the track time. And then the value is going to be 1 plus the track volume divided by 100. Notice all of our track volumes in this file are negative. So negative 65, if we scroll on down, we've got negative 25, scroll on down, negative 46, all of these numbers are negative. So what I want it to do is go down from 1, that amount, and this number needs to be from between 1 and 0. So since all those numbers are between 0 and 100, I have to divide the track volume by 100, and then by adding it to 1, when it's like minus 65, it's actually 1 minus 0.65. And then for our composite envelope, we will take the points and add this new point and pass it the volume point that we just added. So let's see what happens when we actually process this file. So we'll go to Tools, Scripting, Run Script. It created the log file, and now it is reading the log file. When it got to here, it heard the little bit of noise that is on the track, which means it bumped up to 34, 40, and so forth. Here's 50, 53, 51. And then as soon as we saw the talking here, notice it bumped up to 76 and so forth, and much higher values. Then when we got back to this quiet area here, it dropped back down to the lower values. Then we got to this talking here, it has come back up, quiet, back up, and so forth and so on. We get to this quiet area, it's back down again. And then this long quiet area at the end, notice it's very low all the way to the end. So now we have created the file, which created the log file. We've read the log file, and we've seen the values that it has read from that log file and the points that it has made on that composite envelope, which shows us that it appears to be reading the information we think it's reading, and therefore we can tell that it is actually going up and down as the volume goes up and down, and that should be able to let us pick out the silent areas. So we'll continue this in the next tutorial. Go ahead and subscribe, leave me some posts, and let me know what you think of these tutorials, and let me know what you'd like to see in the future. See you in the next tutorial. Please sign up at www.JETDV.com and subscribe on YouTube to get further notifications on when new videos are presented.